really signify that everything we do here at Metro is based on collaboration and partnership, and really excited to do this with the state of Maryland and Montgomery County. It wasn't that long ago, a few of us were up here in the far corner announcing that we were talking about working on a joint development. So this has come relatively quickly. Before we get into that, because a lot of the technical aspects about the development, I know we're going to hear from some of our partners on, they're very proud of. But I want to just highlight what's going on at Metro a little bit and why development is so critical at Metro. Metro has had 50 straight months of ridership growth. We've beaten everybody in the country, so we're leading the country for over 2 straight years in ridership growth, which is we were the lowest outside of San Francisco BART in the pandemic, and we've come back the strongest of anyone in the country. Yeah, there we go. I don't know who started at the back, but I love that. There we go. Thank you. On an average day now, we're back to carrying, probably today we'll do basically 1 million people on the system between bus and rail. So obviously where Metro goes, the community grows and gets around, and we're really proud of that. It's kind of driven by really 2 factors. Safe, reliable, frequent service is what we're all about at Metro. Public safety is so critical, and Governor, I know you focus on this so much in the state of Maryland, and we do at Metro. We're a 7-year crime low here on the Metro system, and we're on pace for the lowest crime year we've ever had on the system. And there's no question the safety of the system is at the highest it's been in a long, long time. Major investments to make, platforms, power systems, signaling systems, things of that nature in better shape, and we are running a really good, safe, frequent, reliable system. Not perfect. I want to make sure people don't tweet at me and say I said something that's true. Not perfect, but really good system every day. It's driving customer satisfaction. We've had the highest rail and bus customer satisfaction in the history of the agency in this last year. And in the last quarter, it's basically been in the same statistical rounding error. So I just want to really acknowledge the 13,000 teammates I have at Metro that are working so hard every day to deliver the great service this community needs. So just thank you to all the Metro team. So Metro has a strategic plan. We've actually worked with everyone in the region to put that together. It's so critical that we have engagement, collaboration. Metro is a big part of what everyone else does here in the region. In that strategic plan, we have a real estate plan. And it's actually the most sophisticated real estate plan of any transit agency in the country, and it's won an award for that. And part of that is really how do we activate our spaces a lot more? How do we create joint development? We are not a developer. We want to facilitate development. We want to work with our partners, in this case Montgomery County, but it could be in the district, it could be at Prince George's, it could be all over Virginia. How do you use Metro spaces to activate development? Housing. Housing is critical in our region, and the more housing the better, and especially a blend of mixed housing, and then mixed development, which we're going to announce today. And so, a couple weeks ago we were in Deanwood. I was there with the mayor. We announced a deal there, and today we're very excited to do one here at North Bethesda. And it really comes down to the board and the staff came up with our partners a strategy, and that strategy is coming to fruition. I'm really just proud of that. Today we're here, 14 acres of developable land here in North Bethesda. It's hard to believe 14 acres of land still available for development anywhere, quite frankly, in this amazing area. But we want to bring mixed development to that. So again, I was here not too long ago with County Executive Elridge and lots of other partners to develop, said we were moving for a joint development. And then we've been working on that. We released in July our joint solicitation, and it's come to fruition here today. And I want to just acknowledge Liz, Andy, Joel, the entire, the whole real estate team, Charlie Scott, Government Affairs. The amount of people that work behind the scenes that do the hard work is amazing here at Metro. I want to just also acknowledge, I don't see in the front row, but I'm sure we have some board members here. Our board leadership is just fantastic across all 3 states and the federal government, people that really care about this system and really care about making it a regional asset. So thank you to that. So with that, if I could bring up, and we're going to start off here, Governor Moore, if you could come up, Governor, and County Executive Elridge, and we are going to show a rendering and announce the selected developer here at North Bethesda. So, Jen, you can pick one side each, if you will. I already know the answer, so. I think you just flip it. Here we go. Here. There we go. Thank you, gentlemen. Very much appreciate that. So as you can tell, we've selected Heinz. The other renderings are going to be flipped over here. This is an amazing opportunity for this life science cluster that's being called up here, and we're so excited. University of Maryland is obviously a big part of this. There's just so much opportunity with this. So Heinz knows what they're doing. They've been involved in lots of these types of projects all over the United States, including mixed development, obviously, but including life science. So I think we were really excited about this partnership. I will say Montgomery County participated with Metro in the selection process, so it really shows that unity between both entities, really making sure this comes together so we can have a second entrance, big buildings connected, not far outside of this entrance, really activating this space. So with that, I've got a lot of amazing speakers here, but let's start off. I am so fortunate to introduce Governor Wes Moore. Governor Moore, I can't say enough about his leadership. When Metro was in a funding crisis 2 years ago on the operating budget coming out of the pandemic, who was the first state and the first person to step up? It was Governor Moore. I really appreciate, Governor Moore, your leadership. Secretary Wiedefeld, I know, Samantha, you're here on Secretary's behalf, the entire partnership, also all of our legislative partners really coming together. But Governor Moore, you've been with us, you've been talking about development. I remember the first time I met you was on the Blue Line, talking about how we could activate those spaces. Again, public safety partnership, and I know you just deeply care about Metro and how Metro really fuels access to opportunity for so many people. So with that said, everyone, can we give a warm welcome to Governor Wes Moore? Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much. Good morning, everybody. This is a great day. This is a great day. And also, first, I want to start, Randy, I just want to thank you for your leadership, man. You were absolutely right. From literally our first conversations, it was very clear about what the vision was. It was very clear about what the plan was going to be. And when we talk about the speed in which everything is happening, that does not happen by accident. It happens because of leadership and because of action plans. So I want to say thank you for everything you continue to bring and what you'll continue to bring to Metro and beyond. It is also a joy to be here with President Jarrell. And I just want to say what an honor it is to be your partner inside this work here too. Understanding that when you're talking about transit and when you're talking about mobility, education is a core part of that because we're moving people from where they live to where they are educated to how they're going to lead going forward. And so it's an honor to be here with you too. And as always, County Executive, it's great to be with you. I was just saying that was very much like a Wheel of Fortune turn that I had over there, but as ever and as always, thank you. And also to all of the partners that we have here in Montgomery County. Delegate Corman, we could not have a greater champion for transit inside of Annapolis. We really couldn't. And it's meaningful, it's necessary, and it's really important that your voice continues to shine out. And also, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez, I just want to say again, and thank you as well for you and for all the members of the council. This does not happen unless we have that the levels of coordination. Councilmember Joanna, again, you as well. Just want to say thank you for all the leadership that you all continue to show. I'm also really excited here to be with so many members of the Moore-Miller administration. I'm honored that Deputy Secretary Samantha Biddle, who again we would not be here without her leadership and her vision. And so Samantha, I just want to say thank you for a job well done. And I would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge that I have such a fantastic partner in this work, our Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller, who is not just of Montgomery County, but is also a transportation expert and a transportation engineer in and of herself. And so to stand there with her in partnership, it means the world. It means the world to me. So I can see Delegate Solomon. It is good to see you. It is good to see you, and thank you for your leadership, also in Annapolis as well. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. For all of our representatives, before I start looking around, I'm watching fingers pointing all over the place here. I want to say thank you for all the leadership. We are here today not only to celebrate this new development that's here in North Bethesda, but also here to celebrate a remarkable contribution and addition to our entire community, to the county, and also to the entire state, because we want to be a state where people can actually get to where opportunity lies, and people are not trapped. We want to be a state where we know that we can be a national leader in life sciences, and technology, and engineering, and in math. We want to be a state that people also don't necessarily need to rely on cars in order to get where those opportunities might exist. And so this is this model today. And this announcement is about how can Maryland continue to take the lead on creating new opportunities for employment, but also for housing, also for transportation, also in one where we say that we leave no one behind, and we actually mean it. The North Bethesda metro station opened up in 1984. And for a long time, this was a stop that brought Marylanders into DC for work and play and new opportunity. But today, this represents that we are flipping the script. Because with this new development, I am confident that the red line won't just help commuters to get from North Bethesda to where they want to go, but also it will bring people from the entire capital region here, so people can also celebrate the joys of North Bethesda regardless of where they call home. Because together we are transforming North Bethesda into a hub of innovation, a hub of opportunity, and a hub of growth. But something like this does not just happen. Change does not just happen. Change is made to happen. And it shows that in this moment in Maryland, this is the moment that we call the season of action. And for our part, I'm honored that the state of Maryland is investing $33 million into this redevelopment project. Most of that money is going to be going towards the building of a new University of Maryland Institute for Health Computing. And this center will be the hub for cutting-edge research in many areas and in many places, because Maryland is uniquely positioned to win in places like, in things like AI and life sciences and biotech. The rest of the money will help to update parts of the North Bethesda station, because in Maryland, we believe in reliable mass transit, and we will invest in reliable mass transit. And I do want to be clear, because where and how we invest actually sends a message. Where you put your capital, it matters. Because it says a whole lot, not just about who you are, it says a whole lot about where you're going. And this year alone, we are delivering nearly $130 million towards growing industries of the future, from cyber to AI to quantum, industries that Maryland is uniquely poised to win in, and we will. And now, as Randy pointed out, Maryland did proudly step up to support Metro when the COVID money ended and ran out, and ridership hadn't yet recovered from the pandemic. And we are proud that one of the first bills that I signed into law as governor created a new state fund specifically focused on transit-oriented development. We are choosing to invest in innovation. We are choosing to invest in transit. We are choosing because those will be the pathways for this to be Maryland's decade. And I'm proud to say that the strategy is already working. Our economy is growing. Our job growth is one of the nation's highest. We are seeing some of the most impressive drops in violent crime anywhere in America. Maryland is moving. But I'm also here to say this too. We ain't done. We understand the headwinds. We understand the challenges. But if people learn one thing about Maryland, we don't flinch. We're not moved. We just keep moving forward. We keep investing wisely. We keep taking care of our people. We keep working together. And that's why I know that if we continue investing, if we keep showing up, if we keep focused on the people, we will build a state that is more competitive, more prosperous, and truly fulfill our mission of leaving no one behind. So thank you. Today is a great day, not just for the district and for the county. Today is a great day for the state of Maryland. Bless you all, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you got a pin today, because actually I just realized the second time we met, I had to give you a Metro pin. So that just reminded me. So next time we come up with a cool one, I'll make sure we drop it off for you. And I do love that you talked about being there for transit. And next up is County Executive Elridge. And I want to highlight, the County Executive is on the DMV Moves Task Force. And this task force has been set up across the entire region to solve Metro's long-term capital funding forever. And it's always been this kind of issue. And we know Maryland will be there when the solution comes together, what we're all kind of working on. Hopefully in the fall we can get a final, what we're all working on, and then advance that collaboratively across the entire region. As the county comes up, I want to take this opportunity also to acknowledge Chris Conklin, who works for the county executive, who runs the transportation department. And Chris, just thank you for all the partnership that you constantly do with us. Two agencies working hand in hand, from bus stops to routes and you name it. And we're launching our Better Bus Network at the end of June, and really just appreciate the partnership. Lastly, on the county executive, he came to us with this idea. I know he's very passionate about this up here, and we're just really happy to collaborate and partner. And just thanks for the vision of trying to activate these spaces. So next up, County Executive Mark Elridge.
This is really exciting to be here. You don't often get to look at something you imagined and actually get to see it within a reasonable length of time, and to know that it's going to become real. And got to excuse my voice. I'm still suffering from, in my third week of bronchitis, so it's affecting how I speak a little bit. I want to thank Randy Clarke and WMATA for your partnership. I think it was 4.5 or 5 years ago, before you got there, I made 2 stops. I went to the University of Maryland, talked to Dr. Varshney. Actually, he came to my office and said, can we create an institute focused on life sciences using AI to advance life sciences to the next stage? And I didn't know what kind of reaction I was going to get. And everybody didn't jump up and down on day one. But we got there, and it was really exciting. I really just had no Dr. Varshney. I haven't seen him here, but he was really pivotal in putting part of this together. And the other person I'd thank in the university system is Dr. Perman, because at the end of the day, Dr. Perman was the one who was sitting on this decision, which way does the university go? And he saw what we were trying to do, and he supported what we were trying to do. So if any of you see him, talk to him in the near future, let him know that I remember him well, and I really appreciate the work he did to get us where we are. It really makes a difference. I want to thank the governor for this. This is clearly a partnership. This is what makes this work. We could not do this by ourselves. We're well aware of that. Your partnership in this is critical. And I'm so excited that we're getting this university building here. That, to me, is an announcement nobody had actually told me about before today. So the idea that there's $33 million to build this building is really, really key. And I love the building. And it looks vaguely like something I saw in Baltimore. And which was also a very nice visit to get to see some of the things you're doing up there. I want to thank the federal delegation, Senator Van Hollen and Congressman Raskin, and Senator Ben Cardin, former Senator Ben Cardin, who were all here and all supportive, from the beginning. I want to thank our state delegation, represented by Delegate Corman. Thank you, Mark. Thank the other delegates who have come here today as well. This is something that's going to be good for all of us. And I want to thank the council, represented by Councilmember Fani Gonzalez. I think I also saw Don Lutke here, and I know Will Jawanda's here. So thank you guys for coming out for this very important event. And I want to thank the University of Maryland Institute for Health Computing, represented by Bruce Jarrell. Thank you so much. To see the growth over there, to think that when I was there like a year ago, there were like 30 or something people there. Now there are over 100 people working there. And they're working on real projects that are going to change real lives, and it's happening in real time. And that makes a difference. It's something that, you know, without their partnership, we wouldn't be sitting here. And I do want to thank the folks I originally talked to at WMATA, who entertained me when I had the audacity to come in and say, you know, we should turn this into a life sciences center. You've got 14 acres up here. We could build the core of a center up here. I had been fascinated by the people I had been talking to about life sciences and talking to me about Kendall Square in Boston, and talking about the urban campus, and talking about the value of collision spaces, that rather than everything being done in office parks, where you never talk to the scientist in the next building, you're not walking to a coffee shop on the block you share, you're not going to lunch unless you're going to go to something that you probably would like rather not to go do for lunch. You don't have those opportunities. And in Boston and in Kendall Square, they created an environment with the university systems there where brains could get together and have lunch, could have dinner, could talk, people from different companies meeting with each other and talking about the work they're doing. And I saw this as an opportunity to create that kind of collision space in Montgomery County. And the reason I love the projects up here is there's not many places in Montgomery County. Somebody said 14 acres. You're forgetting the Lerner property, 45 acres. And we're going to have an announcement on that soon. So we're making progress on these things. We will put in action up here 60 acres of development that is going to tangibly change Montgomery County. It's going to put in place the kind of businesses that we want here to grow. And I know I'm playing against type. Some people say to me, Mark, this is not your type. Look, my type is, frankly, you know, it's social justice. You cannot pay for social justice without a successful economy. So I'm as attached to making sure this economy grows as making sure that some of the money that flows from this economy goes to address the challenges that we have in Montgomery County, so that a rising shift does lift everybody, instead of only the lucky ones who get on board because they can pay the fare. So this, to me, is an opportunity to realize a broader vision of what's possible in this county, and we're beginning to do it. And I learned a lot from what happened with Amazon. I learned that money doesn't buy everything. We outbid Virginia. What we missed was the tech and the education piece. We didn't have that piece. Virginia threw all this educational capital at them, which is what they needed and wanted to grow. It was something you just couldn't buy with money. So our money didn't get us where we wanted us to go. But the fact that even Amazon considered this place told me this had some merit to it for development. And in the county, this is the largest piece of land between Whitefoot Mall and here that is not fully or properly developed. And this is our opportunity to do this at scale. And I'm hell-bent on making sure that happens. So here in North Bethesda, I'm convinced that we're going to get the next generation of life sciences and AI. We've also just opened or are opening our very first AI incubator. We haven't had an AI incubator before. We're stepping into that space. Any space that we can get into, we are going to try to occupy, because we've got the capability, the brains, and the capital in this community to do it. We're going to make sure we do it. And this is the perfect spot. This is going to transform this metro station. To picture that building on top of this place is just remarkable. It's going to be a real thing of beauty. It's going to be the kind of thing that people want to walk into. You want a place where people want to be. One of the other things I learned, and I think you'll see it in the big development down the street, is the creation of spaces where everybody wants to come to. It's not just lunch hour for the people in the tall buildings, but it's a place where somebody says, I want to meet you there, an actual destination for people to come to in Montgomery County. We frankly don't have anything of that scale here. And what they're talking about doing down there in the Whitefoot property has the potential of accelerating and amplifying everything we're doing up here. So there's a lot to be excited about, and I'm honestly really, really excited. So now we get to move forward. You've got a great team. We've got a governor who's committed to this. We've got our new master developer. I'm so anxious to hear what you have to say. And as the governor said, we now have the opportunity to create a lighthouse for AI and life sciences that will keep our county, state, and country at the same cutting edge of innovation for decades to come. And I only wish somebody in the administration would take a look at what we're doing and the investment we're making in knowledge and understand there's actually a direct connection between investments in knowledge and economic development. You don't grow by killing your knowledge base. You grow by building your knowledge base. That's what we're doing here. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive. And you're right, Kendall Square, I worked in Kendall Square for like 5 years. And what makes Kendall Square work? Anchored by MBTA metro station right in the middle of it all, just like this is. So a great example, again, of those things coming together. Next up, and Governor, you mentioned it, I'm going to bring up Chair Corman. I don't know if there is a bigger champion of transit, not just in Maryland, in the region, quite frankly. Someone that actually watches our board meetings texts me about what was said at board meetings, quite frankly, things I can't even remember that was said. I really can't overstate how much I very much appreciate his leadership and passion for what we do, and a rider of Metro on a daily basis when he's not in Annapolis. So, Chair Corman, thank you for everything that you do.
Randy, first of all, I would love to ride to Annapolis on the Metro, so if you can work on that extension, that would be fantastic. Well, good morning, everybody. It's really great to be here. When I look around this area, this is obviously just a really important next step in a project that our county government and our planning department began really 15 plus years ago when the county executive was on the county council. And I think I got it.
A lot of money.
Yeah. And we passed the White Flint Sector Plan. That's done so much to transform this area, and this is sort of the next step in that broader overall project. So, of course, County Executive has been such a great leader on that, along with Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez and Councilman Luke who's here, Councilman Jawando. But I also want to shout out Councilmember Friedson, who represents this area, Council President Stewart, who currently represents this area, former council members like Roger Berliner, who have helped really develop this area into what it is. And a big part of the transformation that's happened here has been led by the business and civic community as well, which now is embodied. Capital funding?
Well, nothing we can't do. Just switch it to the top there. Put them on the top. You got it? There you go, it's like nothing even happened.
That is what happens when you risk mentioning development in Montgomery County. But the Pike District Partnership is the sort of current embodiment of our civic and business community that's so supportive of the work here. And I, of course, am standing here as a representative of our 35-member Montgomery County Legislative Delegation. We're the largest delegation in the state. We have Delegate Solomon here today. We have Delegate Wallach. We have Delegate Warman. And I know many other colleagues who have worked on this project over the years. This is actually the meeting place of 3 state legislative districts, District 18, District 17, and of course, most importantly, District 16. But we and the legislature have made this not just an important project for any individual legislative district or even just for Montgomery County, but a statewide priority. And I want to shout out some of our county leaders, Chair Polakovich-Carr and Chair Kramer, who chair our county delegation, members of the Appropriations Committee like Delegate Solomon, Delegate Wallach, Delegate Spiegel, Delegate Shetty, who have really led on this, members of the Budget and Taxation Committee like Craig Zucker and Nancy King. We have, over the past few years, set aside operating money for the Institute of Health Computing, as well as a lot of capital money for site prep for this area, the new metro entrance, all part of what's going to make this great vision behind you work. So really excited to be here on behalf of the 35-member Montgomery County delegation and looking forward to working on the next step of the exciting redevelopment of this area together. So thank you all so much.
Okay, next up, we're not touching this thing, right? Everything's all right. But thank you for those great remarks, Chair. Next up, on behalf of the council, Councilmember Natalie Fane Gonzalez. I got to say, Renee, first time I met you, someone that's also very passionate about public transportation, that's for sure. But I think the part that I really appreciate in us at Metro is you really look at it from both the ability to really impact equity and really help on the environment. And I tell that to people all the time. You can use whatever words you want. If you care about equity, you care about the climate, transit is one of the most important action items you can invest in to impact those things. So I just want to appreciate your partnership and leadership.
Thank you so much. I will not touch it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Natalie Fane Gonzalez. I'm the Chair of the Economic Development for Montgomery County Council. I want to share that Council President Kate Stewart would have loved to be here today, but she has another commitment. I also would like to acknowledge a couple of my colleagues, Councilmember Don Lutke and Will Jawando are here. Numbers don't lie. I'm a numbers person. And in order to make this happen, a lot of numbers have to come together. The County Council, through an MOU with the Institute of Health, Computing Health, committed to $40 million to make this happening. And we're getting there, right? So that's one thing. The other thing that was mentioned before is housing. In order for these type of projects to be successful, you had to have a series of tools come together to make it happen. One of them was a tax abatement that the council passed a few years ago. Otherwise, you will not see this multi-family property that you're going to be seeing here. Numbers matter. If you don't do the math, things don't happen. So I wanted to put that out there. The last thing I will say is that Montgomery County wants to be the #1 place in the nation for life sciences. Right now, we're #3, which is not okay. We're going to be #1. I had the great pleasure of being in Taiwan with the county executive a couple of years ago, telling people about the amazing things that we have in Montgomery County, not just the talent, because we have amazing talent, as we can see here with you guys, but also the beautiful parks and the resources that we have to ensure that we have quality of life. Because at the end of the day, you can be a PhD, you can be a genius, but if you don't enjoy your life and you don't enjoy your community, you have nothing. So having transit, housing, beautiful parks makes quality of life good for you and for the community. And that's what we're trying to create here in Montgomery County. And this is why I'm so proud to be here and so proud to stand with the governor, with the county executive, with the county council, and also with Metro for all your work. And I look forward to having something similar in Glenmont, by the way. I just put it out there. And but thank you so much for the opportunity. So.
We'll put that on the list, right? The never-ending list, but thank you, appreciate that. Next up, listen, MDOT is one of our best partners, right? From, I didn't see him earlier, my board member, Mick Andrews, Assistant Secretary up there, but Secretary Wiedefeld, who had this role before, knows the complications of Metro, quite frankly, probably still better than I do at this point. But MDOT has been there hand in hand with us and everything from funding, conversation we had earlier, but also working with us in Montgomery County on our bus lanes, which were so successful during our red line shutdown last summer that we continued them going. So it's just a great partnership, and we coordinate basically on a daily basis. So next up is Deputy Secretary Samantha Biddle. And Samantha, thank you for all your partnership and leadership.
Good morning. On behalf of Maryland Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld, congratulations really to all of the partners involved in today's exciting joint development announcement. Governor, thanks to your vision, your leadership, the Maryland Department of Transportation does have the budget, as Randy mentioned, to make smart investments in Metro and other transit and transportation infrastructure in North Bethesda and in Montgomery County more broadly. These investments will drive economic growth, preserve our system, and improve safety for our transportation network. Advancing transit-oriented development here by the North Bethesda Metro Station checks all of those boxes. The convenient location will help increase transit ridership. As the governor stated, we want to see it happening both ways. The development will spur economic growth with the cutting-edge research that will be conducted by our partners in higher ed and in private ventures. And this development will further support our economy by better connecting Marylanders to jobs, housing, and other opportunities. It's just one of many sites that Maryland is working with WMATA to develop throughout the state. And while Metro provides excellent regional connectivity, the work at MDOT is doing will now further connect Marylanders to opportunities here in North Bethesda. We're working closely with our partners at the county on adding dedicated bus lanes to move people more efficiently on all of our roads. And when the Purple Line is complete, it will help connect College Park to North Bethesda, opening career pathways for Maryland's talented youth. I'll wrap up by saying that I too remember the sector planning days, as Chair Corman mentioned. I started my tenure at the department as a regional planner for Montgomery County. So I can't say how meaningful it is to see this vision really coming to life, to see this transit-oriented development and all of our efforts coming together to better serve all of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. And we look forward to the Purple Line coming up here, and we'll connect all into Metro. And as someone knows, we're going to put that on our map, and it's going to be looking great. So next up, listen, one of the big reasons we're here, we highlighted earlier, is it's the Institute for Health Computing, right? And it's really exciting to see this is where the partnerships come together between academia, public transportation, private sector development, all comes together. So last time we were up here, Dr. Gell was, when we did the signing ceremony, so I'm so happy to have you back up and really excited for your leadership and partnership. So next up is Dr. Bruce Jarrell, President of UMD.
Last time we were here, it was blistering hot, for those of you who remember it, and it's much cooler temperature-wise, but a lot of hot things going on. Now, I know you all are focused on the building. Let me focus on something else. That is the people who are in it. The people who are in it are going to make a difference. So first of all, I want to thank the governor, county executive, and the Montgomery County Council for helping to fund this, because we now have 100 people sitting in not quite this building yet, but ready to move into this building. IHC, you've heard mentioned, the Institute for Healthcare Computing, is a new entity. We've been around for 2 years. Again, thanks to tremendous vision. And we're hell-bent on something I call computational health. We plan to fill this building, or at least as much as we can, with a lot of people who are looking at how you use data and artificial intelligence and computing to improve healthcare. This is a collaboration between 3 big entities. And so when Councilwoman Gonzalez said it's an amazing county with a lot of amazing things, we're adding an amazing thing, okay? And that is, we're adding the University of Maryland and its strength. And for those of you who want to know specifically, it's the University of Maryland College Park with high-end computing and artificial intelligence. The University of Maryland Baltimore with its expertise in health sciences, research, and biology, the things that make you better. And then the University of Maryland Medical System, that's an expert not just in the delivery of health care, but in the data behind it, the electronic health record, etc. The 3 of us meet on a regular basis and have planned and executed this. So I'm very pleased with the progress. We already have people, as I mentioned, on site. We're building expertise. We're building relationships with the community, with the biotech community and other small business and startups, because that's important here. We also are working on workforce development and have students already involved in our programs, and we certainly want to be part of inventing in this location new drugs, new ideas for health care, understanding previously unexplained diseases, anything that's novel that will help the health of our state of Maryland, from the Eastern Shore to far western Maryland, from the Mason-Dixon line north to southern Maryland south. So Governor Moore and County Executive Eldridge, and all of those of you who are here, I want you to know the University of Maryland is fully behind this effort. Your support has already put us on the map in terms of computational health, but this new initiative at this WMATA site will help create a biotech hub. That's already happening. This new site will amplify the Institute for Healthcare Computing, amplify the computer sciences at College Park, amplify the health sciences in Baltimore, and amplify Maryland's economy. And at the same time, will improve healthcare for the state. This is the next step. We're very pleased to be part of this next step. We're very pleased for the University of Maryland and its many entities to be here and we look forward to making this a hub in computational biology. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, President Jarrell. Last but not least is Andrew McGeorge. Andrew is the Senior Managing Partner, or Director, I should say, at Heinz. So Heinz, for many people that don't know, Heinz is a world-renowned firm. They do tons of this type of work. Went through a very regimented selection process. Again, partner between Metro and Montgomery County to go through that. Experience in life sciences, mixed-use development, all across the country. So we're very excited to have them. And quite frankly, the person that has the most pressure now, right? As we get to the end, because now we got to turn this event into the next best event, which is breaking ground, which is the best event, which is scissors. So with that up, Andrew, come on up.
All right, well, good morning. The pressure is certainly on now with that introduction, but saving the developer for last. It's a pleasure to be here today. I would like to begin by thanking Maryland Governor Moore. Thank you very much, State Delegate Corman, Deputy Secretary Biddle, WMATA General Manager Clarke, County Executive Elrich, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez, and President Gerald. Thank you all for your collective efforts in making this exciting milestone possible. I would also like to thank my Heinz colleagues, Katie Weisick, Brandon Siegel, for leading this initiative on behalf of the firm. I'd also like to thank the project team that's supporting us, the architects, engineers, and construction companies. So thank you all to making this happen. We're excited to be selected as the developer for the North Bethesda project. This public-private partnership represents a shared commitment to creating a vibrant, mixed-use, transit-oriented development. This project embodies a forward-thinking plan for life science, that's state-of-the-art science facilities, and brings online much-needed residential and retail space. It establishes North Bethesda as a hub for innovation and sustainable growth. At Heinz, we recognize the responsibility of leading such an initiative. Our immediate focus is to collaborate closely with WMATA, Montgomery County, and all stakeholders to refine the development plans and negotiate a joint development agreement with WMATA. Heinz has a 40-year track record in the DC metro area. We're especially proud to highlight our experience and commitment to Maryland. Our current Maryland portfolio includes multifamily buildings in Hyattsville and in College Park adjacent to the University of Maryland. We have a recently approved multifamily development in Twin Brook in the city of Rockville, and we have a medical office building in Baltimore County, With this new project in Montgomery County, we're excited to continue building and strengthening our presence in Maryland. This project will deliver benefits far beyond North Bethesda's borders. It's poised to generate significant economic activity and support job growth across the region. We look forward to advancing this dynamic project and developing a plan that benefits the entire North Bethesda community. So with that, I'll turn it over to General Manager Clarke, and thank you very much. We're very excited.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Okay, with that, we're gonna take this, we're gonna get this out of the way without breaking it, and we can do a big group picture in front of this big announcement today. I'm not touching that, because I'm a little
you.
The numbers are going up.
Can you stop on feed and then anyone else on feed? All right, Jack, if you want to get in front. Yep, and then y'all gonna have to. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I might just need you to like get low. Like once a year, like very rarely. Like.
I'll probably never run it again. You know, the story of the day today is that the governor was more Faraday than That will be the headline.
I like that. I like that.
What's up?
How was? Doing good, bro?
Good. Yeah.
Are you gonna ride this?
No. All right, explain quantum computing in 5 seconds. No.
Oh, in 5 seconds?
No.
I can explain quantum computing. It'll take a little more than 5 seconds. Actually, no, I could do it in 5 seconds. Quantum computing is, in 5 seconds, it's uncapping the potential speed and analytical design of computer analytics in a way that can touch every single aspect of human life.
35 seconds.
35 shit, sorry.
All right, so what's the deal here? Montgomery County really hadn't had a ton of job growth over the past decade or so.
Yeah.
Talk about this.
Well, and part of the reason, if you look at why there's been a real stagnant economy, part of it has been housing, part of it is the lack of transportation assets, and the reason I'm so excited about this project is it helps to address both. We have to do more to get more affordable housing inside of areas and just get more housing options. We have to do more to get people from where they live to actually where the jobs actually are. And the reason that this has been so frustrating is when you think about the assets that exist in Montgomery County, the assets of life sciences, the assets of the federal institutions and the federal buildings, like there's no reason for there to be stagnant job growth, the way there's been not just in Montgomery County, but across the state of Maryland, really for the 8 years before we came on board. And so the reason that we're excited to now see job growth, the reason that we're now excited to see population growth, the reason that we're excited to see direct investments in transportation, transit-oriented development, density bonuses, and also focusing on these industries of the future is because I really do believe this thing is going to spurn a larger economic growth angle that Maryland really needs, and Maryland's needed for a while.
Can you afford the $33 million? You have a lot of people talking about you've been downgraded by Moody's. What about this $33 million that makes it a really good deal?
No, I think people have seen that we are a very fiscally disciplined administration. You know, we have now turned a structural deficit into a surplus and still managed to get 8% within the rainy day fund. It's one of the reasons why we were excited to see, like Fitch, keep our AAA bond rating. So we understand the challenges of the neighborhood, that Moody's had downgraded not just the United States of America and also Washington, D.C., and also institutions like the Smithsonian. We understand that. But I also know the budget that we have laid out is a fiscally strong budget, but fiscally strong does not mean stop investing. And it means we can actually do both. We can turn a structural deficit into a surplus, but also make key investments that's going to help spur economic growth.
Governor, I didn't catch who said this. I think they said it kind of in a joking manner, but it is something that I know transit advocates would like to see down the line.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion whatsoever about any rail line to Annapolis extending the metro? They did it out to Loudoun County. The Silver Line extension is a long one. I mean, is there anything down the line 10, 20 years that you guys were talking about?
I think right now we're focused on the right now. We need to make sure that we get all of our projects done on time and get all of our projects done in a way that's really going to spur more economic activity, that's going to spur more economic growth. And so my focus right now is making sure that the projects that we are completing and announcing, that they are getting done and they're getting done efficiently and effectively.
I have a question from my colleague, Darcy. Go ahead.
Reparations veto, sort of two pieces. One, you got a lot of blowback for the decision. What were your thoughts on that? And secondly, you hinted at further action coming from you in that vein. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I do not believe that now is the time for another multi-year study on something that we already know. I think this is the time for action. And I'm really proud of the work that I've done in partnership with the legislature, where we've been able to make historic investments in our HBCUs. We've increased investments in HBCUs since I've been the governor by over $1.3 billion. We've done expungement reform. We've done procurement reform. I signed the largest mass pardon in the history of the United States of America. This is an administration that believes in action, and actually focusing on addressing the issues that we know are issues and historical issues, but doing it in a way and in a speed that really honors the urgency of this moment.
Would you support tax dollars for cash reparations to people in the state?
No, I think the statements that we have made and the work that we have done shows very clearly that I believe in action. I'm really proud of the action this administration has already taken when it comes to addressing what have been the long-standing challenges of racial discrimination that we've seen not just in the state of Maryland, but across our nation. But I believe that the action that we are taking, the action that we are going to continue to take, is going to really show the urgency that I see at this moment.
All right, guys, thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You just I'm gonna have to hear you. Okay. Now we gotta go get.